Hey, just doing a brief little update video on the Enclosure and generally how she's coming along here on the Burmese star tortoise. Well, I've named her Star first off, and although it is still too early to sex them, so I don't really know that it's a her, I've just been calling her that. So if it turns out to be a male down the line, I guess I'll owe him an apology. But, yeah, he's coming along pretty well. He's, still a little bit shy, but he's getting a little bit more used to me, which is good. And, of course, that's going to be a work in progress for a little while. But, yeah, Shell's looking real healthy. Her herself looking healthy. And I put him down. I don't want to. Now I'm calling him. But put her down. Don't want to stress her out. But, as you can see, she's absolutely adorable. Goes without saying. But she's getting there, anyways. When I first got her, she was really, really shy. I'd open the lid to feed her, and should be staying in the shell for probably 10-15 minutes after that. And so we're making baby steps here. And I've had her out a few times, and it seems like she has good days and bad days. Where some days she's really, edgy to meet people, get out and walk around. Other days, a little bit more shy. But yeah, as you can see, she's definitely getting used to our enclosure here. Which, speaking of, I don't have anything fancy. It's just a bin setup, and fairly on the small side too. And looking into it, it's I originally was gonna go with more of a tortoise table kind of setup, but with this size, with this particular species, humidity is a big factor. And I guess that's where a lot of people end up going wrong with this species. So, you really want to keep the humidity up there, and so that's why she's in the bin setup, and it's partially enclosed too. Obviously, I have heat and UVB on her, so I have an opening there. But for the most part, it's enclosed a lot better. It keeps in the humidity really good. Right now the humidity's gone down to 79 right now, but usually it's mid 80s or so. And the bedding, of course, is helping with that as well. It's I made the bedding myself. It's mulch, peat moss, soil mixture, and I have a hide box in here. Not that you can really see in there, but that's sphagnum moss in there, and it's to provide a humidity gradient as well as temperature. Obviously, it's going to be cooler in there, but it's also more humid in there. So that way she can kind of go in and out where she wants. She has, humid. Nowhere in there is really dry, but humid versus less humid. And then obviously, hot side and a cool side. And the basking was actually tough. I find with the bin setup, it's a lot tougher to keep it low enough. I had a problem at first where it kept getting too high. It seemed like no matter what I did. So I had to kind of rig it so that the hot spot wouldn't get quite so hot. So I've got it right now, 95 to 100 degrees in the hot spot, and then overall the entire enclosure stays at about the 80s, into the 70s in the cool spot, and then at nighttime I'd say it drops down to probably the mid 70s overall. And food dish isn't usually, that's over here on the cool side. That's not in here because I'm feeding her right now. Figured it was a good time to make a video. I got the water over here. And going pretty smoothly. Speaking of food though, that's the only issue that I've really come across so far. Is right now I'm using, of course with vegetables and greens. But pellet food wise, I'm using a mixture of Missouri tortoise and Zoomed grassland tortoise. And it for some reason, in the humid environment that I'm keeping her in, I'm having issues with it molding up really quickly. Uh, I'm replacing it every day, and at the end of the day, when I'm replacing it, it it starts molding up. You can see it's already, well, you can't, but when I start replacing it, it's already getting some mold on it, which is concerning. And I've tried moving it over. I had it over here on the hot side, and didn't make a difference. So I don't know, and I actually think that's the zoo mid grassland that's the root cause of it, and I'm not sure what really to do about it. I was talking to somebody who recommended isopods in the enclosure, but I'm not really having any issues on the bedding. Uh, I guess people do that for tarantulas. I guess it keeps the mold down. I'm not really sure, but and obviously with mold, usually you want to increase ventilation, but I'm trying to keep the humidity in here up. So if you have any suggestions on that, please let me know. But yeah, aside from that, everything else is going good. I have two more coming, and because obviously a couple years down the road, I want to do a breeding project with these, since they are critically endangered. Um, and that, of course, I'll keep you guys updated on them too, and show you them as they come in. I think they're going to be a little bit smaller than her, but yeah, so far so good. All's looking. If you have any recommendations with the enclosure as well, of course, feel free to speak up. It does. It does have a feeling to me like it's too small. I guess for her it's really not, but I don't know. I just don't like. Oh yeah, she really likes her cuddle bones, which almost. So if you look at that one, that's only been in there for 3 days, and I've already got to replace it. So I don't, and it's good for her beak, and obviously, at the age she is, she's growing. But and there's also calcium in the supplement too that I'm giving her on her food. But anyways, just wanted to fill you guys in on that. I'm gonna be posting another video today. Well, I'll go in a little bit more detail on that one. I'm sorry I kind of took a hiatus from posting videos. I was having some technical issues. So, the other one should be on today, depending on when it finally uploads, either today or tomorrow. But that one will be sort of an unboxing. It'll be an animal you haven't seen yet anyways. Alright, well, I'll see you later.